Good morning, Jersey Droners. I just wanted to make a video about some issues we had this morning at the Teardrop Memorial in Bayonne. That's where our mission was. We knew the cruise ship was coming in at 6, so we all went there to fly. We got a lot of flying time in before we had 2 Port Authority officers come and insist that we couldn't fly there. They said it was a restricted area. They said it was Port Authority property. Another point, they said it was private property. They said there was Newark airspace, the Hudson River. And then they kept saying, oh, you know, the times we're in. And it's just like, so yeah, I politely said, of course we'll stop. I always say I'm a public school teacher and I respect the heck out of you guys. I'm not going to say no to you, but we did our homework and we were pretty certain this wasn't Port Authority property, that it was Bayonne property, and we're allowed to fly there. And and then I showed them the airspace because I told them we checked the airspace, Class B, Newark airspace. I showed them the map is over, well behind us. The Hudson River Exclusion Part 93 airspace is way far away from there. It's a neat spot because you can legally fly way out over the Hudson, of course, within visual line of sight. And there's a lighthouse there as well. But we had the cruise ship backing in, so no one would tell us who called. I'm assuming it was probably just some workers that were back in the parking lot that saw drones. It could have been because some of us got too close to the cruise ship. I'm not really sure. I didn't keep an eye on everyone. So I asked to speak with the supervisor, and they gave me a number to call. We all had stopped flying. I called the number. He said he was going to look into it, call me back. And even the supervisor started talking about how you need insurance to fly. You need to get approval from the Port of Authority. You need to get approval from Bayonne. You need to do all, and I politely told him, we don't need to do all that to fly from public airspace. And he did, when he called me back a second time, the supervisor, Lieutenant Whalen with the Port Authority, verified that it's Bayonne property that we were on, that the Teardrop is Bayonne property. The parking lot is Port Authority. So the parking lot, technically, you can't fly from. He then told me, though, he didn't tell me that. He just told me it's Bayonne and that I should call the Bayonne police. So I called the Bayonne police. I spoke with Operator 35. That's all the information he gave me about his identity. And he said, yes, you can fly at the Teardrop Memorial. That is Bayonne property. But he specifically said, yes, you can fly there. And yes, it is Bayonne property. So for anyone that wants to know, we spoke with Lieutenant Whalen with the Port Authority, who told us to call Bayonne Police, Operator 35, verified that drones can be flown from the Teardrop Memorial property. That's the end of the story. I'm sorry for the people that came out this morning and had our trip cut short because of this. It's kind of a shame that police won't look into things when you tell them that you've done your homework and you're quite sure about the legalities and the law, but that's what happened. And we should be good for the future. I think the next event, we might just avoid doing it when there's a cruise ship there. Just go and enjoy the lighthouse and the teardrop and the views of the city. And then in the future, we'll go again, but maybe give it some time before we do it while a cruise ship is backing in again, because that's probably the reason why they were called. So that's what's going on. Thanks for everyone that came out, and keep flying.